Hello, hello, viewers. How are you? Welcome back. And for our first timers, please don't forget to tap on the subscribe or like, and also share your comments. I love to hear from you. Well, let's get right into it. Today, I promised you a treat. And today, we have from my created Caribbean female writers promoting group, we have our lovely, talented entrepreneur, songstress, author of The Rude Awakening of Spoken Word, Poetry's Quotes and Dreams, our own here, Miss Natalie Ramos James. Welcome, Miss James. Welcome. How are you
Thank you
doing
so much.
today?
I'm fine, thanks. It's a pleasure being here with you this morning.
It is a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming. Okay, well, first of all, excuse my throat. I have a frog in it today, but we will move on. We will get the show on the road. Thank you so much for being here. First of all, tell us a little more about who you are, where you're from, and share your hobbies outside of writing.
Okay, so I am from the lovely Caribbean islands of Trinidad and Tobago. I have been writing for, oh my gosh, probably knee high. I love being able to create and express myself, so that others can learn from my experiences personally. I have two lovely teen boys, and I also enjoy singing, writing songs, photography. So those are a few of my hobbies that I do in my spare time.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so when did your love of writing begin and what led you to writing your first book, this The Rude
Well,
Awakening?
well, personally, I used to write a lot of diaries because I was so shy. So it was kind of my avenue to express myself, especially with a strict mom. So that's where my writing started, I believe, when I was like being able to talk and write at probably about 7, 8 years old. I was writing in school and I just kept at it as an adult. So I think that kind of gave me the avenue of writing on my own personal book. I have been in other books, but the fact that I could have self-published and do my own, that to me was just a blessing.
That's great. That's great. And we can relate. I had a strict mom too. But what topics so do you write? What genres? What choice of genres do you write?
But personally, I try to kind of cater for the young adults. I write poetry, I write short stories, I love writing quotes, and anything that is happening currently, I try to address that, and romance, personal. So I try to target a little bit of what's going on in life. Even sadness, pain, and that, so that way you can know that you're not going through these feelings alone.
Beautiful. Well, my favorite poem from your book would have to be on page 29. Where am I going? I enjoyed that so much because it makes you
Oh my
stop and
goodness.
think, and it
Yes.
also makes you definitely give a lot of thinking into your future, right? And it's
Right. I
great to
if
share. I shared
sometimes
it with
living a lifestyle like we do as creative writers, sometimes we don't even know our own direction. So that poem is really very a nice one that I
definitely, definitely. Not that it's church oriented, but I shared it in my church and they loved
like.
it.
Oh,
But
I'm glad.
anyone in the world needs to look and evaluate, self-evaluate, take a moment to see where am I going? I'm here now and this was my past, but where am I going? So I love that. And that was my favorite.
Awesome,
So do you
awesome.
have your personal favorite from your book?
Yes, I like one of my favorites is Friends, because I was actually the first one I wrote that end up in the International Book of Poetry in New York.
Nice.
So I really like that. It's short and it's to the point. We all need friends at the end of the day. So I think that's a
Definitely. Beautiful, beautiful. So tell me, Natalie, when you get ready to write, I mean, really write, and you set your mood, what kind of setting, what kind of tools do you meet necessary to enjoy your writing experience?
Well, personally, I start off with a book and a pen. I think pen and paper is always the quickest because that flow is coming constantly. So you want to always be prepared. So I always try and have a pen and a paper at my bedside. And when I finish do that, then I transfer it into my laptop. So I try to get calming music. I like writing in the night because I think it's more soothing and everybody's sleeping.
Yes, true.
So I definitely like a relaxing mood. Sometimes I might have a glass of wine, that's to set the setting. But definitely I need music. I love music. So
Beautiful.
music helps me to really to think about what I'm about to create.
Beautiful. I have to do it at night too because you have the kids' distraction in the day, the mom duty and all those other noises going on during the day. So I agree with you. At night sometimes is the best. And I start with the writing. So lovely, beautiful. So do you usually set deadlines for your books and gravitate to the ideal map your course with an outline for writing first?
Basically, I really try and do set a deadline because I think if we don't, we can keep going on and adding and editing, and we never get to the point of publishing. So I think it's definitely great to have some sort of deadline that you work towards. But me personally, as fast as it flows, I write. So it can come at any time in the day, at work, doing the laundry. It just comes, and that's one of my way of being most creative because it just flows naturally through me, and that's something I really think is a gift that I personally have as a writer.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love the outline and mapping out where you're going, and it gives you a roadmap. But
Yes.
sometimes for some things, it just comes to the mind and you just gotta jot it down as you go right then and there. So sometimes that comes to me as well. Okay, so beautiful. So how do you balance with this busy lifestyle you lead? I mean, you're always on the go. You're an entrepreneur, you have your own small business, you're songstress, you do stand up, you write. So how do you balance your writing with all these other obligations?
Well, personally, the funny thing about that is I am a Libra, so I'm a scale. So balance is I guess part of my lifestyle. So to me I like writing under pressure. Something about that adrenaline rush, it kind of gets me boosted up and going. So yes, I do a lot in the public limelight, and I think that excitement of knowing you're about to create something that people are going to read. You're about to leave a legacy. So you want to, do it even under pressure. You don't want to just sit down and let it slide. Because once you get a gift from God, you got to use it. You never want to waste that. So I think every opportunity to write, I try and take advantage of.
I like. So did you take the traditional or the non-traditional route where your book publishing was concerned?
Well, since it was my first personal published book, I wanted to not go the expensive way because it was like a trial and error. So I did my first publish on lulu.com. And with the thing I like with Lulu is that they don't charge in the beginning for you to publish. So you can publish the book. The only time they charge is when you're purchasing your own book to resell. And the other thing I do love about it is the amount of avenues they give you in the marketplace to share your books. So all that was free access. So if anybody wanting to write for the first time, I will recommend that just because it's not something that you will be spending extra money on, something you're just trying out at the first time. So that's very inexpensive.
Oh, that's good for the audience and myself to know. That's really lovely. So you say not at the beginning, but at the end, when it's time to print and so forth, you accrue those charges then.
Right, and it's not even it's because of you being the author, you have a fee that's less than what the public would pay.
Okay.
So they will charge you way less because you are the writer. So that's another good thing. You never have to pay a full price for your own book. So that's something also
Wonderful.
you
That is
that's the
wonderful to
charge.
know.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that information.
You're
So
welcome.
at this point, so what type of messages or lessons do you wish for people, your targeted audience, to receive after reading this book?
Well, every time I write, I always want to leave a positive message. Something I'm working on right now with my new book coming up in the short stories is I always want to leave like a motto or quote or something that they can relate in their daily lives. So you can always take my writing on the road, as they say. I have people who have read my book and were so inspired, like you said, you did it in church. Others were inspired to share, and that's the moment when people can feel what you write and they can compare it to their daily lives. I think my job as a writer has been done.
Definitely beautiful, beautifully said. So, in relation, let's take it on a little roundabout route and before we conclude. In relation to our group, the group that I created on Facebook, Caribbean Female Writers, promoting our books and scripts, etc. What can you share with the audience about this group? Because you're now a moderator in the group. So, what can you share with our audience about the group?
And so personally, I want to say thank you for making me a moderator. I really appreciate that position. It helps me to see the people that are coming on and want to be a part of our group. I love the fact that it is Caribbean based. So it's nice to see other cultures, Barbados and St. Kitts and different countries coming on and just, relating to us as Caribbean artists. So I love the fact that it's also women. So we kind of motivate each other as females to let us know that, yes, there's other avenues, there's other people who have the same mindset that we can share our work and creativity with. So the fact that this group is, on Facebook, it's a platform that everybody is using. That's another good thing that we can be able to meet in a mutual format and purchase or support each other's writing. I love the fact you have an advantage to get books from other countries or even recipes. Some of them write recipes or even learning their cultural slangs. The fact we have an avenue we can go on and say, hey, we find a book basically made out in the Caribbean is a really, really good thing that this page is doing for us. It's helping us to see other writers as ourselves.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Miss James, before we conclude, please share where we can find your beautiful book, lovely book, maybe as one of our holiday gifts to ourselves, our family and friends. Where can we find the rude awakenings of spoken word and poetry's quotes and dreams?
But currently, my book is at all major book sites. So it's at Walmart, Lulu, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, eBay, Amazon. So you can basically get it at any bookstore. And that's a really good thing about Lulu. Lulu gives you that advantage to do that. So I really appreciate that platform.
That is wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you immensely for accepting this invitation. Even on a short notice, you just grabbed the opportunity. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I
Thank you so
appreciate it. Natalie Ramos James, please see her book in any of those places that she just mentioned. It's a good read, beautiful poetry, and it will make a good holiday gift this season. So thank you again, Natalie. Please, viewers, hit that subscribe button, share your comments, and like. Thank you again, and hope to
Thank
see you
you.
soon.
And have a wonderful day. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
take care.
Bye.